All right, so we're looking at example 2 of 6-3, part C. This is the part where they wanted us to graph it. So they're asking us when they're going to catch up. So again, that means same. If they weren't asking us to graph it, we could just set those expressions equal and solve like we did for part 1. But they're asking us to graph it. So the first thing you want to do whenever they give you a graph with numbers on it is make sure you understand what that's going up by, because that will screw you up and not be good. So here on the bottom, it's clear that I'm going up by ones, which is nice. And so on, 11, 12, 13, 14. And however, though, on the side, on my y-axis, I'm clearly not going up by ones because I get to 10 right here, which means I'm going up by twos, which is definitely going to affect things and would cause you to get a wrong answer if you did not notice that to begin with. So when we look at Zeke's equation and it looks like we have a slope of 2, you would think you get to go up 2 over 1, but not really, because when you go up 1 block, you're really going up 2 yards. So you have to think of this more in terms of what you have. So Zeke is going 2 yards every second, which means he's starting at 0, going up 2 yards is 1 block, every second is 1 block. So in this graph, based on the way we have it numbered, we're really going up 1 over 1. Because in this graph, when we go up 1, we're really going 2 yards. And that is why it is absolutely essential to make sure you pay attention to what they give you, what your labels are. Notice how my Y's are yards and X are seconds. All right, so now let's take a look at Nico. So Nico is not starting at the origin. Nico's starting at 12 yards because of his head start. And so Nico is going, I didn't do this yet with you guys. Nico, we know, was going 1 yard every 2 seconds. So 1 yard is going to be really hard to put on my graph here, but I could go 1 yard, which would be half a block, and then over 2, 1. But we want to do something a little easier than that. So let's convert it into 2 yards. So if it takes 2 seconds for 1 yard, that means for 2 yards, it's going to take 4 seconds. We can use this on our graph now. 2 yards would be up 1, and 4 seconds would be over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 1, because that's 2 seconds every 2 yards every 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. 2 yards every 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. And there we have, that's going to be a hard line to draw because it's so not steep. Okay, and then again, we need to label these because this is important. This is Nico. This is Zeke. That's why color coding is clutch. All right, so we can see that we have our point of intersection, which is, again, what this whole unit is about right there. So how many seconds did it take? Well, that point falls right on 8 seconds. So it takes 8 seconds to catch up. And how far from the finish line are they? Oh, how far from the finish line are they from? Gee, holy moly, it's too early for this. So they're at 16 yards, but that's not how far from the finish line. The finish line, they said, was 30 yards because up here it said that they were running a total of 30 yards. That's important. So 30 yards is the finish line. So 16 minus the 30 is going to give us 14 yards from the finish line. Boom. So your big thing, I do ask you to graph the first one here, so you'll just be careful with it. You can do it. I trust you.